So first thing I want to talk about is Boosie. Everybody's familiar with Boosie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now he was on the Breakfast Club, and for those who haven't seen it, basically he was on there really talking about the whole LGBT
And
situation
Lil Nas
and
X.
Lil Nas X and everything like
Yeah.
that. So I just think that everybody has perspectives, everybody has views, beliefs, opinions, right? Those are his views and beliefs as far as like not wanting the quote unquote agenda to be promoted to children
To children on television.
on television and everything like that. The problem that I had with the Breakfast Club interview is that it felt like Charlamagne and Angelique, it's okay to have the discussion, but it felt like they kept trying to force him to change his opinion and his stance, and I appreciated him standing on his beliefs at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
Well, I think they were just trying to get him to apologize and see where his words could incite violence.
Mm-hmm.
Because he kept saying a lot of his statements. First of all, the whole video was cringe as hell. Like I really couldn't get through it like that, so I would kind of like forced myself to watch it. He was trying to make points, but couldn't associate the fact that this principle also has to be applied here. And he would say it sometimes, but then he wouldn't really acknowledge it when Charlamagne would ask him a question. He'd be like, "No, you try to tie it." No, you have to go ahead and acknowledge that. Yes, if you want to say that exposure is a problem, exposure was a problem in your music. You even acknowledge that people, when you got out of jail, everybody was either dead or in jail too. So
That's
you
true.
have to acknowledge that certain things about your lifestyle and certain things about what you are promoting
That's true.
are also a problem.
That's
You know what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah.
You can't just come at this man and say you'll beat his ass and do whatever.
Yeah.
Because that for the type of people who support Boosie, that could be something that promotes violence against gay people. And I think that's what Charlamagne and them were trying to get him to do. Like you need to you need to chill out on the aggression behind what you're saying. We understand that you don't want him. Nobody wants anybody on television dancing completely naked. That shouldn't be allowed, and it's not something that's for children anyway. You know what I'm saying? I agree.
Yep.
That's not something. Not even Cardi B. None of that. That is adult material. Cardi B even says she makes music for adults. So I agree with him. That shouldn't be on TV. But you saying that, the way you said it is problematic. And he didn't want to acknowledge it. So
Yeah.
I think that's why Charlamagne them would not let it go. Because they want him. But he illiterate as hell. You know what I'm saying? You just
That's
really
the thing.
can't.
I think that most people, even the transgender, what's it?
Flame.
Was on there. And
I like Flame.
yeah, Flame
I
was
like
on point.
everything Flame said.
Flame is on point.
I like
like
everything
Flame's
Flame
perspective,
said.
right? But it's just that all what Flame was saying is that Boosie, I understand what Boosie's coming from. Boosie just can't articulate things
At
correctly.
all.
But to point something out is that
Makes himself sound stupid.
yeah, with that. So what did you think about this shit? Like,
I just think that he sounds stupid. And I think it's also, the whole entire situation comes back to, I feel like a lot of people, and I'll point out a particular individuals, but I feel like there are a lot of men who are not comfortable with homophobic, what is it? Homophobic just images and stuff like that. So
homophobic.
You mean homosexuality?
yeah, homosexuality, but some people are homophobic
Towards the homosexuality.
yeah, to
images.
homosexuals.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
that's like something that I don't feel like our generation is now. We're in the generation now where we're learning how to articulate that, and we're still, in between that, which is why he can't. I mean, he can't. I don't know.
'Cause
I've seen a lot of things with him, and it just.
Because this is the thing. He
Just
comes up. He's not.
He don't gain respect from the way that he talks about.
No, he got a lot of respect. No, that's the problem. He
does.
got plenty of
Because
it.
I think
if you
the people
notice
that
what
are
he
like
said,
him,
if you
who are
notice
like
what
him.
he said that a lot of people hit him up, say, "Hey, you're speaking for us," whatever like that. Because truthfully, Boost, a lot of people feel
A
that
lot
way.
of people agree.
So
with
the
it.
thing is, I think that if he was able to articulate it, one guy who called up to the Breakfast Club was saying, "I don't think it's a problem with how Boosie feels, it's just how he's saying
Saying
it."
it,
Because the
exactly.
thing is, you can't say I wanted to beat up Lil Nas X for
You
doing
can't say
X, Y,
that.
and Z.
Right.
Because, and then I think Charlamagne was trying to get to the point to where, hey, street rap has been around forever, and people, people support that. But when it comes to homosexuality being portrayed or whatever, people have a problem. Now, this is the thing. I disagree with that because people, they've been shitting on gangster rap and street rap since its origin. You know what I'm saying? Now, you have a crowd, particularly white people, who bought into it, helped NWA go platinum, made it. When you cross over, you don't go, you're out the black community. You go to everybody.
Yeah.
So, it's not just us supporting that shit. So, the thing is, people have been running over parental advisory CDs. They've been doing that. It's just that this LGBT homosexuality stuff is relatively new to us. So, you know, this may be a thing we have to adjust to, but I feel what Boosie says about as far as Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X actually trolls. We've had Elton John, we've had different openly gay people, but just because you're openly gay, just, you know, you don't, disagree with the WAP video. You know, well, not the WAP video, but the WAP performance on the Grammys. Because I feel like if it's a person, Lil Nas X doing whatever he did on stage is one thing.
Live?
Yeah, it was live.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where I think the issue is at, because for people who are just watching and then have children and see that.
Exactly. So
you
remember I said something about it. I was like, I think that WAP wasn't
Cardi B
appropriate to perform at the Grammys.
Yeah.
And in the same light, I would say that Lil Nas X, it's like if you're promoting sexuality to a TV show and they say, well, it's not for children, you should tell, like, if you look at the rating is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Now, I wouldn't let my children watch Sex Life on Netflix. Have y'all checked that out?
I haven't watched
I've seen
it,
but I haven't watched it
it's
yet
on my
because
list.
my
It's on my
daughter
list.
is always around me, so
Right.
I haven't had a
see
chance
what
to
I'm
watch
saying?
it.
Yeah, so, but they basically bring that type of, the type of showcase to the front. So I understand what Boosie was talking about, but I do feel like you need to cover all sectors because rappers don't get on the stage at the Grammys and have their guns out. You know what I'm saying?
True, but see, this is my thing. Like Boosie, you know, he made all those comments and just kept contradicting himself. When Flame got up there and, you know, started giving him compliments and stuff, he started blushing. And I was just like, you know, Boosie, this is just weird, okay? See, now everything that made me uncomfortable because you are so anti and so they need to stop doing this, and then Flame just get up there and say, yeah, I think Boosie's a handsome man. And he wasn't too forward with it. He just said, yeah, I think he's an attractive man, and let it be. And Boosie folded up.
Because I don't think that Boosie, I love the fact that Flame was on there because Flame was showing that Boosie really isn't a bad guy. Like Boosie, even remember he was just like, gay people don't steal, and it's like,
and that's why I was just like, this man is just ignorant. The amount of ignorance that just comes out his mouth is cringe. And I was like, I cannot sit here through this shit. I like watching Soulja Boy interview.
Oh my God,
that is some pure entertainment. But Boosie, a lot of his statements don't have any remote validity, and it's hard to just sit there and listen through all of it. Yeah. Now, I like some of his points. Like, I like the fact that he brought up exposure in children, because there are a lot of people who will say, oh, so if I expose you to guns and all this other stuff, are you going to just become a killer? I could. It's possible.
It's possible.
It's not. Exposure is not always 100 proof, but exposure in my life has actually changed some of my decisions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like you can't just sit up here and that's one thing a lot of people like to use as a rebuttal for that exposure
That's
argument.
my issue.
They'll say, hey, but if I do this, does that guarantee that you're going to be that? No, it doesn't guarantee. But there are some people who are now a part of the LGBTQ community who have said that they were, and a lot of it has everything to do with abuse, but they'll say, I was abused when I was younger, and it awakened a certain craving in my body, and now I crave this. You know what I'm saying? And so people can't take away from their experience and say exposure don't mean nothing, because it does.
And there are agendas. Agendas are real. Just like there was an agenda with the gangster rap. Do y'all know, from some people that don't know, the reason that it got pushed to the forefront, they wanted to do away with the De La Soul music. They wanted to do away, because in the late 80s, mid 80s to late 80s, it was about fight the power. It was about a lot. You saw black folks wearing dashikis and kufis and all kind of afro, all that stuff. But then the gangster rap came in. The gangster rap was coming in anyway, but they pushed it to the forefront. It was a label meeting that said we need to get black males locked up. So that was an agenda. Just like...
and that, like Boosie said, that influence, it made a difference, because everybody was locked up or
So
dead.
my point of saying that is, I just hate when they try to act like everything is subjective, everything is normal.
It's
Like,
not.
no, there are agendas. Let's not play that
It's
game.
not. It's
So anyway, so Boosie, that was funny. Go check it out if you hadn't seen it.